when x equal to pi by 2, the output is 2 over pi. What happens if the function is not continuous at x equal to c? If the function is not continuous at x equal to c, replacing x by c will not give you any meaningful output, will it? No, it will not. For example, in this function, f of x equal to x over x plus 4, you know that from our discussion earlier, this function is not continuous at x equal to -4. So, if you want to find the limit when x approaches -4, can you find it by replacing x by -4? No, we cannot, because at that input there will be no meaningful output. So, once again, this is a beautiful graph. I hope you can see these numbers. The output I have used 300, -300, -200, -100, 0, 100, 200, 300, and so on. So you can see here, this is x equal to -4, and this is x equal to -5. So -4.5, -4.4, -4.3, -4.2, -4.1, -4, -3.9, -3.8, and so on. Now, what happens to f of x as x gets closer and closer to -4? Now, x can get closer to -4 either this way or this way. This way we call it from the left, and this one we call it from the right. Now, x can get closer to -4 either from the left or from the right. I hope you understand that. X can get closer to -4 as -4.5, -4.4, -4.3, -4.2, -4.1, -4.01, -4.001 is getting very close to -4 from the left. Similarly from the right, -3.9, -3.99, -3.999 is getting closer and closer to -4 from the right. Let's find the output values as x get closer and closer to -4 from the left and from the right. Okay, let's start with x equal to -4.1, that is here. X equal to -4.1, use a calculator. X equal to -4.1, give me the value of the output. Do it on your calculator. It'll give you 41. So x equal to -4.1, the output is 41. What happens when x equal to -4.01? You can see now we are going closer to -4. When input is -4.01, the output is 401. So the input is somewhere here, the output is 401. And if the input is -4.001, we have actually gone very close to -4 from the left. The output is 4001. If the input is -4.0001, the output is 40,001. That means as x gets closer and closer to -4 from the left, the function output goes to positive infinity. The output increases without bounds. Alright. That means as x changes from -4.1 to -4.1 to -4.001, f of x changes from 41 to 401 to 4001, is going higher and higher and higher. So we can say, as x approaches -4 from the left, the output approaches what? The output goes to positive infinity. That's right. Now, finally, when x is very close to -4, the function goes to positive infinity. And this is the way we write it. I want you to take note of this. You write it like this. The limiting value of the quantity x over x plus 4 when x approaches -4 from the left. Now look at the symbol we use for that. This negative power. This is really not a power. This negative sign here on the top right corner of the 4 tells you to read like this. X approaches -4 from the right. Oh, sorry. Negative means from the left. So limit x approaches -4 from the left. The value of x over x plus 4 is positive infinity. As x approaches -4 from the left, the output goes to positive infinity. And I want you to make sure you understand it. All right. Now let's go to the other side. What happens when x gets closer and closer to -4 from the right? Let's start with -3.9 here. When x equal to -3.9, the output is -39. Here, that's -39. When x equal to -3.99, that is very close here. The output is -399. When the input is -3.999, very close to -4, the output is -3,999. That means as x gets closer and closer to -4 from the left, x gets closer to -4 from the left, the function output goes to where? -3,909, -39,000, -390,000. It will go to -infinity. That's right. So finally, when x is very close to -4, f of x approaches -infinity. And how do we write it in a form like this? All right, look at this. Limit x approaches -4 from the right. I want you to distinguish these two. That negative sign indicates from the left, the positive sign from the right. Limit x approaches -4 from the right, x over x plus 4 is -infinity. So one more time. The limiting value of x over x plus 4 as x approaches -4 from the left is positive infinity. The limiting value of x over x plus 4 as x approaches -4 from the right is -infinity. So the limit from the left is not the same as the limit from the right. Very important to know that. Okay. So the limit of this function as x approaches -4 from the left is not the same as the limit of this function when x approaches -4 from the right. Now therefore, tell me, what is the value of, if somebody asks you this question, what is the value of limit x approaches -4 of x over x plus 4? You see, to answer this question, you need to break it down into two pieces like we had, because the limit of this function when x approaches -4 from the left is not the same as the limiting value of this function when x approaches -4 from the right. And therefore, if somebody asks you this, the only thing you can say is that, I don't know. I don't know. Because it's not clear. So we have no answer to this because the limit from the left is not the same as the limit from the right. And we say in such a case, we can say that the limit does not exist. Such a limit does not exist. Why doesn't it exist? Because the limit from the left is not the same as the limit from the right. As x gets closer and closer to the c value from the left, the function goes to positive infinity. And as it gets closer and closer to the c value from the right, it goes to negative infinity. That means at that c value, the limiting value does not exist. if the limit when x approaches c from the left is not the same as the limit when x approaches c from the right, then the limit x approaches c, f of x does not exist. In order that limit x approaches c, f of x has to exist, the limit from the left has to be equal to the limit from the right. Okay. Let's now take the case of function f of x equal to x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. Now, what is the limit of this function as x approaches 2? Let's make a table again. Now, you can see x is approaching 2 from the left. That is, we are coming from 1.9, 1.99, 1.999, coming towards 2 from the left. The output increases from 3.9 to 3.99 to 3.999. What do you think is the ultimate goal? You see, if the input is now 1.9999, the output will be 3.9999. That means as x gets closer and closer to 2 from the left, the output is getting closer and closer to 4, isn't it? Yes. Similarly, let's come from the right. You are coming towards 2, say 2.1. When the input is 2.1, now use your calculator. Put x equal to 2.1 and find the value of this. It will be 4.1. X equal to 2.01. The output will be 4.01. When the input is 2.001, the output will be 4.001. You can see as x gets closer and closer to 2 from the right, the output is trying to get closer and closer to 4. Yes. So, in this case, as x gets closer and closer to 2 from the left, also closer and closer to 2 from the right, the output are both coming closer and closer to 4. What does that mean? Well, there you are. Well, what that means is the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 from the left is 4. As x approaches 2 from the left, the function value approaches 2. Now, this is the graphical representation. I have actually shown you this graph before. As x gets closer and closer to 2, the output is closer and closer to 4. Now, what is that point shown there? The input is 1.997 and so on. The output is 3.997 and so on. So, as x gets closer to 2, the output gets closer to 4. How about when x comes from the right side? We say the limit of f of x as x gets closer to 2 from the right is also 4. There is the next diagram. As x is getting closer to 4 from the, closer to 2 from the right. This is 2.0021. This is a value to the right of 2. And the output is 4.002 and so on. Now, what does that mean? It means that the limiting value of this function as x gets closer and closer to 2 from the left and as x gets closer and closer to 2 from the right are both equal to 4. That means the output is the same as x approaches 2 from the left or from the right. And therefore, we can say limit x approaches 2 from the left, x squared minus 4 over x minus 2 is 4. Limit x approaches 2 from the right, x squared minus 4 over x minus 2 is also 4. And that means the limit from the left equal to the limit from the right. Therefore, we can confidently answer this question: what is